Hey, what's up? Coach Oyama here. Eh, I have a passion to help you improve, and I specialize in macro. Now, all my coaching is free. All you got to do is DM me. Here's my resume with my contact info at the bottom for Discord. Uh, some things that I've done. Um, yeah. So let's get right into it. Sombra player in GM1. Excited. I love talking in GM1 because I get to talk about Okay, VOD, right? Yep. And they said struggle with translocators being too far away in this one. Okay, so this is going to be a very special one because I feel like Sombra is a very, very macro intensive character, in which you need to know your micro very well and then get to the macro, because if you don't know your micro, you'll never play for the macro, and you have to play for the macro on Sombra, unfortunately, because of your hack. The hack is the entire win condition, and one hard thing is, you're not in voice chat, Sombra is very hard to play. The teamwork required, okay, the teamwork required for Sombra, okay. Hold up. So, at the beginning, let's just think about what is your win condition, because immediately I'm looking at your team comp here. Yeah. This loses you the fight. I'm gonna say this fight is your fault, even though it's not 100% your fault. This right here, this decision making to set up on the health pack is really bad. Because what it does is it puts you so offline for your enemies, or for your team. I would rather see you throw your translocator up here, or throw your translocator in this room where you can hack this health pack if needed, if you even want to hack that health pack. Because you need to analyze the enemy team comp and play for your win condition. Your win condition is brawling into the hack. It's like a Mei wall in essence, if you think of it more like that, rather than a Discord or with an Echo Tracer or an Ash or something like that. If you hack the enemy Tracer here and force her all of her cooldowns, is it beneficial for your team? Actually, no. Because the enemy Tracer can still just exist in main and shoot your monkey, which is what's going to win the team fight for them. But if you hack their monkey or their Echo in main here, and they lose their mobility, you're able to brawl into them, and it's going to force both cooldowns from the Ana. It's going to force cooldowns from the Tracer to get desperate to help avoid this monkey dying. And so the reason why, one big critical mistake in this team fight is you basically put yourself offline by trying to do that. The first fight is the most important, and of course, like, you know, at some point, like, there's no way that you could have known the enemy team comp other than scouting. But even then, I would say scout first, and then I don't think there's ever a situation where you need to rehack this mega, to be honest. So just don't do that again. Don't do that again. It puts you way too offline for your team. Okay. Going into the next fight here. Oh, you're Winston? Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. So that's a reset. I want to see what you do during this off time. Where's her Ana? Oh, she was dead. Yeah, I was like, why is it? It said she wasn't picked. Oh, she was selected. Okay. This is fine. Jesus, your team. Okay. So yeah, going into this fight here, your Genji kind of really overcommitted without your tank, and then you guys are trying to reset, and your Mercy gets pulse bombed. Okay. Well, and then your Ana staggers. Okay. This one's gonna be rough. Okay, you have EMP here. I want to see how you use it or how you set up to use it. Oh. Okay, one thing I don't like you putting your translocators here in the back line, because it makes you so offline. And if one person decides to contest you, you're completely offline, and if they stop contesting you, then you're just gone. I like this engage with EMP. I do think, though, EMP the monkey along with it, because your monkey was zoning them out. I'm just going to say, I don't think this game would be your fault if you lose. Unless something changes and your team starts playing better. But nice hack onto that. Very cool. Okay, yeah. Here, take the bot. Take the bot, bro. Screw your team. Play the objective. Sometimes, especially on this map, taking the bot and stealing him. Actually, on most push maps. Oh, yeah, you still got that translocator over there. So I see why you say you struggle with putting your translocator so far. I feel like you're not trusting your supports. But in GM1, right? We're in GM1? Yeah, we're in GM1. You should trust your supports just a little bit more, and even if they're a bit incompetent, I'd much rather see you on the sidelines, ready to hack, or just shooting a bubble at the minimum, rather than having to reset all the way over here. Very nice. Good beams. Oh, okay. We're in. I feel like it wasn't communicated with your team that you were going in. Then you have to reset all the way back here. So this is more of an off, or not an off angle, but a hard flank. And the reason why this is bad is because it disconnects you from your team. It really, really, really disconnects you from. It puts you offline when you're not in your uptime, in which you have to reset really heavily. So looking at your ults, their ults. Alright, I want to see how you play this fight with your EMP. Okay, nice. EMP onto the supports. Okay. What I want you to do is, especially because your team comp, it's kind of scuffed. But if you hack the targets that are out of position rather than the targets, so your team can follow up on them, because your team cannot follow up on the hacking of the supports here. Versus if you hack this monkey, he's screwed. Like if you EMP in between the supports and the monkey, like right here, the supports have to run all the way up, and you're still marking the supports, and your entire team is on this monkey, and he's got the damage increase, like basically the Discord orb on him. Very nice 1v1 onto that Echo. I do say though, I feel like the way Sombra has changed over the years, she's very, 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 very less dependent on the health packs. And the reason why you hack health packs now is for map control. It's not for your own, like, this luxury of being able to reset back onto the health pack. For the majority of times, I want you healed by your supports, especially on a dynamic map like this, where it's not so favored for you to take such a strong hard flank. Okay, and you get EMP. Do you use the EMP here? Yes, you do. Okay, that's great. Okay, cool. So I think the majority of this game, we're gonna say trust your supports more, and then play for your win condition. Your win condition is hacking out of position targets that your team can focus. I feel like you're playing really selfishly. Kind of watch. Your EMPs are pretty good. Like the timing is good. I would say the target focus and the reason why you're EMPing, or the reason why is probably good, but like how you execute your EMP is a little bad. Yeah. I see why you say the translocators are a bit off here, because your entire uptime is like gone. You should be think about Sombra as Soldier 76 rather than this weird lopsided uptime. Yeah. I want to see how you use this EMP. You guys are on Diva Mirror. Okay.
Just in case. Feeling mark system compromised.
I feel like this translocator is the best translocator spot that you put out at all.
Translocators in place.
This one is very good also. Yeah, thank God you're not putting them on the sides anymore. Very nice pick onto the Mercy here. I'm assuming. No, okay. Sucks. Okay. Let me talk about this EMP earlier. There's two things that I don't like about it. One, it's a very, like, uninformed EMP. I say that because you have no LOS to the enemy supports, you don't know what cooldowns they have, and it feels rushed and reckless. Two, in the positioning, they weren't really out of position, and so your team couldn't really capitalize on that EMP. Versus if you just wait for them to push forward and engage, and then you EMP the soldier while he's visoring and pushing forward and you bait him into main, or you wait for them to use Valk or Bomb, and then they start rushing in, and then you EMP, your team will use less resources than to provide the same amount of team-wide value as they are right now by pushing into the choke. It's like limiting their LOS, limiting what resources that they can use because the enemies have a corner. Okay. I feel like also for you, hacking the enemy tank is very, very, very worth it.
Peace. Feeling much better.
Yeah, in a map like I don't even know what this map's name. But in this map, when it's very dynamic and the enemy tank is the only thing holding them into the high grounds and chokes, unlike like if this was 2 CP, hacking the enemy tank does like nothing. If this is, so then you'd be looking for engagements on the side. But because you're so focused on your team composition is so oriented towards taking off angles, providing your soldier value and opportunities to be able to take off angles and deal more damage, and it's more of a positioning based instead of a cooldown based brawl. It's way more beneficial for you to hack the enemy tank and be able to make the enemies force their cooldowns and forfeit their positioning than hack the enemy DPS and force just their cooldowns and not their position. Yeah, like this. Perfect. Because the Reinhardt, needless to say, they got grabbed, but the Reinhardt cannot push forward, cannot take space. He's just done. And interesting example because your team loses this fight because they couldn't properly manage the enemy DPS on the side. But I think you get the idea. So this one, I think you already know. But giving you a solution. Health packs, no. Use your supports. Maintain your uptime. If we have a graph here of your health packs, your uptime versus if you just use your supports, uptime. Maybe just like a little bit longer of time in which you're not getting healed, and then you get right back up to your uptime. And then it'll slowly go down. But going to the health packs, especially on this map, not it. EMP usage, your ult. Let's get the enemy... Let's let the enemies engage first, or let the enemies get into a spot where you EMP them, and they're in a bad position and your team can follow up on it. I feel like you're EMPing a lot of times out of your support's LOS, or your team is not ready for the EMP, or the enemies are in a good spot to kite it. And then I think also your hacks, because that's the win condition of your team comp. Think about hacking the enemy tank, and it's two types of resources. Angles and space, or cooldowns. And you're forcing the cooldowns, but you're not getting any space at all. And whereas if you reposition into main and use your off angles to hack, and then force space and cooldowns from their supports, not necessarily that you're pressuring a kill, but you're actually getting way more value by hacking and providing space for your team. And then you can also provide value by like flanking and trying to, you hack the enemy tank and start shooting them. And if someone tries to contest you on the side, then you force them to come look at you and get resources based off of pressuring a kill. So hopefully the tips make sense and I have maybe helped you today. Good luck in your next rate games.